the European Union, along with Bill Gates and George Soros, have a plan to block out the sun. Yes, lower the Earth's temperatures by launching chemicals into space that would block out the sun. What could possibly go wrong? They want to do this now on a global scale. Watch this report from CBS on blocking out the sun. They're doing like a deep dive promotion of this entire plan. Just look how they're sort of jolly about talking about it. Watch.
What exactly is solar geoengineering?
A set of proposed technologies to rapidly cool the Earth by reflecting sunlight back into space.
The idea is based on the cooling effect of volcanic eruptions. When Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines erupted in 1991, it spewed 20 million tons of sulfur dioxide into the sky. That reflected so much sunlight, global temperatures dropped by an entire degree the following year.
So one notion is that we could mimic those volcanic eruptions by sending specially equipped airplanes into the stratosphere to do exactly the same thing.
Okay, great. That's great. So CBS is in on it, doing a deep dive promotion of this whole idea of this volcanic eruption, not even questioning the devastation of this prolonged aerosols in the atmosphere due to volcanic eruptions. They're not journalists. They're parroting the pseudoscience behind this. And it's madness, actually. Someone who did do a deep dive on this are the authors, the co-authors, Nicholas and William Klingman, authors of the book The Year Without Summer, 1816, and the volcano that darkened the world and changed history. The eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia in the year 1815 triggered a change in the global climate, a massive change. The heavier material fell to the ground, the ocean's surface. But the aerosol particles devastated crops around the world, caused massive famine, wiped out populations, led to the slaughtering of livestock because they had no food to feed the livestock. Snow and frost hitting farms and fields in July, months after this eruption. At the time, they couldn't figure out what the heck was causing it. They didn't know. They didn't even have telegraph lines at the time. Everyone from John Adams to Thomas Jefferson to Jane Austen wrote about it in their diaries and correspondence. Incredibly cold and abnormal summer of 1816, and tens of thousands of people died as a result of starvation due to the famine. In May of 1816 alone, the frost killed off most of the crops. Higher elevations like Massachusetts and New Hampshire and Vermont, as well as upstate New York, couldn't plant anything. On June 6th, snow fell in Albany, New York, and in Dennisville, Maine, and Cape May, New Jersey. Snow, frost, in the middle of summer. 5 nights in a row in late June. All sorts of crops damaged. And according to the authors, the volcano only caused the global temperatures to decrease by less than 1 degree Celsius. Less than 1 degree. Caused the global famine and population decline. Then we saw the exact same thing happen in the early 1900s. And again, after the explosion of the atomic bombs, caused similar atmospheric particles that blocked out the sun for months at a time. So let's watch this again. And watch him smiling here as they talk about replicating the effects of a volcano. Like, it's going to be fun.
What exactly is solar geoengineering?
A set of proposed technologies to rapidly cool the Earth by reflecting sunlight back into space.
The idea is based on the cooling effect of volcanic eruptions. When Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines erupted in 1991, it spewed 20 million tons of sulfur dioxide into the sky. That reflected so much sunlight, global temperatures dropped by an entire degree the following year.
So one notion is that we could mimic those volcanic eruptions by sending specially equipped airplanes into the stratosphere to do exactly the same thing.
Oh, we could mimic those volcanic eruptions. Like, this will be fun.
Can you think of any reasons we shouldn't do that? Is maybe the follow-up question that the journalist doesn't ask.
Hey, what if that journalist said, hey, I just read this book on the summer of 1816. I just watched Redacted and I saw that they were talking about it. And it turns out there was widespread death and famine, caused global population decline, just absolute destruction of crops, and set economies into total ruin. Hey, what about that? Well, I haven't seen that book. I don't know that research. Well, maybe you should look into it.